Welcome everyone to the Foally of Man. My name is Chris, with me here today.
Meine Name isn't Robert.
It isn't.
It is.
You said it wasn't.
It's the problem with German. Welcome everyone to the next episode of The Foally of Man.
Episode 30. Today we look at chapter 33.
Crusaders.
And what's our little dialogue?
It says, I am impervious to such corrupting ambitions. Which is clearly in reference to an elder character at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
So I would think, but we'll get to that in a minute. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, first of all, what the fuck? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
I found out through one of our live streams that one of our fans actually discovered us through Google Play. I know, right? Like, that just seems so bizarre. So, but thank you for joining us on YouTube, and those who are joining us for the podcast at home, thank you for listening in. We discuss the fan fiction written by kkat that involves Fallout, the video game Fallout, and My Little Pony. That's right. And the crux of the show is Chris is a Brony, and I'm not a Brony.
It was a secret. You weren't supposed to tell anybody.
Is that the big reveal at the end of the show?
Yeah, that's the big reveal.
Also, second week in a row, we're standing, and our audio isn't shit. We know that it's not shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice for things to work for once. Slowly but steadily, we are making this operation a little bit more legit.
We're gonna start looking like a talk show here at the end.
Yeah. Because we want to be legit, but now we're too legit to quit.
Please no.
Too much. All right. So let's.
Sandberg.
Yeah. You wanna hop right into things?
Go into the chapter. What do we have starting with?
A lot of water, a lot of rain, a lot of irradiated equestrian rain, Chris.
Yeah,
it's
very wet.
And there's hot pony on pony rain play action going on. A lot of flirting.
Yeah.
Between homage.
Okay.
What's that? Rain play?
Okay.
Hashtag Rule 34 rain play.
Let's not. Let's really not. Okay, so they talk. They pal around a little bit, and they talk about how Xenith gets her stripes back because they had to remove them so that the people inside the tower wouldn't flip the fuck out.
How Stella got her stripes back. Something to that effect, right? No. Let's do that again. There you go. Give it a hard snap.
Okay.
Okay. All right. But anyways, but we again see the relationship dynamics between Homage and Pip, and we also, I like your note there. Calamity installs a steel hooves mount onto his whip.
Isai bandito.
He's big into the Sky Coach modding community.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's gonna actually spray paint flames on the side. Look like the pacer from Wayne's World.
Because the flames make it go faster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God!
Aside from the fact that the pacer was actually a muscle car, if you could believe it, it was marketed as a muscle car.
It was supposed to be a muscle car. It was
actually called the pregnant muscle car. I'm sure 9/10 to 99/100 of our audience have no idea what the AMC pacer is or what in the world we're talking about, and so you may not even know what Wayne's World is. For shame.
God, that's sad.
Well, it is society and culture.
Well, the other thing is, everybody's got their thing, and some people have no taste. So, but you're watching this show, so clearly you have no taste. You've clearly made some bad decisions in your life.
We passed the bottom of the barrel about a mile back.
I know, right?
We just kept digging.
The pickles on top, they're fine, but when you really get down into the yeasty scum that's full of seeds and just smeat felon dankness, that's where the Foally of Man begins. That's really where we start to mature. I can paint a picture, can't I?
Let's not.
Paint a picture with your
You are no Bob Ross, so let's move on.
Anyway, so Little Pip and Homage are talking about the orbs, the memory orbs that they have to turn over to the upper crust elite of Tin Pony Tower. And apparently, their Homage is like, we probably shouldn't share number 8.
Yeah, not number 8.
And Pip is like, yeah, but if they think we're hiding something from them, they'll be hella pissed. So unfortunately...
Oh boy, they're about to get an eye full of some... Whew!
Spanking. At least.
Spank bank material.
Can you imagine that memory orb and there being like a little bell sound and a ding every time Pip has an orgasm? Bing! And a number counter.
It's got a little Nixie tubes counter at the top, just up by 1 each time. It's like a ticker.
That's disgusting. We also have Little Pip aspiring to write a song for Homage.
Yep.
With Velvet Remedy's assistance, but mostly criticism.
Yeah.
There's what's the lyric about dropping a train car on my love, or it's something to that effect. I can't remember the exact line.
Yeah.
But like Velvet Remedy's like
Little Pip did not score high in charisma. We're seeing the effects of that now.
It's like Vogon poetry.
Yeah. Into the slimy depths of if the Lord and if the...
So, once again, the batteries need to be changed on the Sky Bandit.
Yep.
So they bring it down for a landing. Velvet Remedy's telling Calamity, listen, you've been flying us around for hours. You are not going to crawl around in the mud and the muck.
Yep.
So Little Pip...
Pip will do it.
Yeah, Pip will... Yeah, of course. Because Velvet sure as shit's not. I mean, her legs are still all gimpified.
Oh, sure. That's why. That's totally why. No, I've got this bad hoof. I can't...
Ooh.
Oh.
See, earlier I sprained myself just a little bit.
Yeah. I sprained my battery replacing ability.
Got a piece of gravel caught in my hoof between the frog and the outside. Yeah, that sucks. So Little Pip, go climb in the ashes in the mud. And Little Pip is commenting on like this pile of ash that used to be a pony, or probably could have been an old pony. And she's like, you know, what people's memories and what bodies am I really dragging myself through?
Yeah.
You know, what am I doing here?
Uncle Esther.
But we also get contacted by Spike.
Watcher, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we know he's Spike now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Watcher comes back from a sprite bot, and we have communication between Spike. It's kind of an awkward conversation between Little Pip.
Because they both know more and like want to talk about more, but they can't.
Yeah,
and
there's
so
a lot of dancing around the issue, and Little Pip is even like, you know, it's hard to talk to him knowing that I'm not the pony, you know, because he essentially says, so have you found any more ponies for me, or have you found any more people for me?
Yeah. I mean, and interestingly, it's probably what this story is going to look like at the last episode, like not the last episode, but the episode before the last episode, where I just have to go, yep, totally. I can't answer that. Can't answer this.
Well, from everything that's been discussed, apparently this next chapter, chapter 34, is the big chapter. There's a lot that's going to happen because we're going back to Canterlot. Mm-hmm. That's the plan, is we're going back to Canterlot. You son of a bitch! You can't do that. And for the listeners at home, Chris has got a Smug-as-fuck punum on him.
Oh, see, that's the thing that you don't understand. The listeners at home, they do too. As does everybody who's watching. It's the moment where we break the fourth wall down.
I'm just fucking tired of being the only one left out.
Everyone loves that you're the one who's catching up. That's why they watch, because they want to see you devolve into the madness and emotional depravity related to the story. So yeah, continuing on, they talk about some things.
Mostly they talk about, Pip tells him that she found out how Twilight died.
And what Twilight did.
And yes.
And he's like, so was it peaceful? And Pip's like, oh yeah, peaceful. No,
Yeah.
it was great. She saved a lot.
Right, she was saved. Yeah, she saved a lot of ponies.
She didn't do anything bad.
But then he asks, "Did you find her body? Was she given a burial?" And Pip's like,
you know that meme where where the person's like sweating and holding the rag up to their forehead, like, yeah, that.
Yeah, it's
so technically Twilight's body is with the goddess and the silence.
Right. Well, she
pierced into the rain.
She says eaten. She uses the term eaten. Mm-hmm. The goddess ate her. Mm-hmm. And then Little Pip very quickly says, "And I'm going to destroy the goddess. And if there is anything left of Twilight, I will put it to rest." Mm-hmm. And that's essentially the extent of their conversation. That's kind of where it ends. But you know, there's a comment in the narration that obviously you can't tell from Spritebot emotions, but she could tell. You know, obviously Spike would be crying on the other end.
Yeah, I mean, absolute silence.
Yeah.
Like no reaction whatsoever. That's especially if it's really long, where it gets really awkward, and you wonder, have you hung up yet? Yeah, that's the time when you know that something's happened.
Yeah. So, let's see here. What happens after that emotional exchange? Oh, right. We happen upon the Outcasts.
Yep. They're going to the Outcast. They are now at Stable 29.
Right. Because they know that they need to go to Canterlot. They need to talk to Steelhooves. Mm-hmm. because obviously he's a Canterlot ghoul,
Yep.
but he was the last known person to be there
Yep.
And observe it. And one of the things that actually we find out that other Brotherhood members
Attempted.
had attempted that. What's his name? Elder. Who's the elder? What's his
Cottage
name?
cheese.
Cottage cheese. Thank you. I was thinking of lumpy breakfast food, not oatmeal, not elder oatmeal.
Well, that's because kkat describes his coat as being a pale oatmealish color.
Gotcha. All right, so that explains why that stood out just a little bit. But anyways, he had been sending droves of soldiers in trying to collect the Black Book, right?
Which reminds me of, which is similar to the remnants, and obviously not the outcast, but the remnants of what was left of the Brotherhood of Steel in New Vegas.
Right.
Where the Elder continuously sent out Brotherhood members to be butchered, trying to find and regain control without telling any of the other knights or paladins or anything, just pretty much sending off the people to their doom.
Yeah. Doom. You're doomed.
You're doomed.
But anyways, so we do get to Steel Hooves, and he's pretty much, rocking and rolling. And the Elder Cottage Cheese is old, crotchety, and dying, and apparently demanding he get his
Give me my chair, you
his
kids!
medical chair. And here's the balance here: these people who've been, whereas they're still struggling with these people that they understand respecting the position, even though they no longer recognize his real power.
Yeah,
he's still part of the organization.
Yeah, and I mean, he didn't come into power by birth or by buying it. He did come into it meritocratically. So he still holds a position of importance in their own mind. It's just he's wrong ideologically.
Yeah. So Steelhooves begins to talk to them about what it means to go to Canterlot. And first of all, it's like, don't. And if you absolutely have to, you must be focused. And he's like, first of all, where are you going? Where are you planning to go?
Yeah.
How are you intending, what's your purpose? And he says, because you have to absolutely limit the time that you spend there. If you fall asleep, you're dead. If you dawdle, you're dead.
It's South Detroit.
Well, and he essentially calls Calamity a kleptomaniac.
Yeah.
He's like, and he says, hey, scavenger.
And there's a quote by Steelhooves that has an interesting twinge. I did leave it in the notes as well, where Little Pip asked, "Oh, is there anyone that can be saved? Is there anyone there that actually can be saved?" Mm-hmm. And he says, "What is it? There is no pony in Canterlot who would meet your definition of alive."
Of living, yeah. We find out that there's essentially, essentially there's zombies that are repeating the same task over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. Doing what they were doing before they, not dead, but not alive. You know what I mean?
Became zombified.
Yeah, became zombified. Ghoulified, yeah. And essentially, it's like you can't wear armor. You can't wear anything. It may fuse to your skin. Mm-hmm. Don't hold on to things for too long. But essentially, we know where they have to go. They have to go to Rarity's office, and then they have to go to the secure vault inside the Ministry of Awesome. Mm-hmm. Those are the two places they have to go. And it sounds awful.
Yeah.
But that's where they've got to go. And through hemming and hawing, they really wanted Steelhooves to join them, and they are able to convince him to join them. Because
part of it is that they needed to take Elder Cottage Cheese to do a prisoner transfer with some of the Steel Rangers at Buckland's Cross.
Right.
And right as they're describing this, an explosion occurs. And they're like, what the hell's going on? Are we under attack? And they're like, no, it came from inside the facility. And ends up that Elder Cottage Cheese staged a one-pony coup.
So when they do give him back his medical chair, they had
a weapon stash on it.
They had checked it for weapons, but they had not checked his private locker.
Because they didn't want to be rude.
They respect it. And what does Steelhooves say?
Let it be known, ponies are still cute little ponies.
Steelhooves, when he says, "We need more little pips," somebody who would have just picked the lock anyways.
Well, the thing is, a couple chapters ago, he's like, "Why would you do this? Why do you feel it necessary to do this kind of thing? This seems so out of place. You're not accomplishing anything, really." And now he's like, "We totally need more people like you."
Yeah. Yeah. So, because they had respected the chain of command, Strawberry Lemonade is dead.
Not dead.
Oh, right, she was a hostage.
She's a hostage.
She's a hostage, that's right.
Like similar to when we found Steel Hooves and his armor was shut off.
Yeah.
Her armor is completely shut down by the Matrix spells.
Yep.
Matrix spell crash.
Right. But then, essentially, we have a confrontation between Elder Cottage Cheese and Little Pip herself.
From two sides of a door where Elder Cottage Cheese is attempting to imbue his likeness, his mental image, kind of a snapshot of his brain.
Into the mainframe.
A ISO image of his brain into the mainframe, yes.
Yeah. Insane in the mainframe.
Insane in the brain.
And so to go back to the quote from the beginning, Little Pip is like, what are you doing? All you're doing is preserving the technology from before the bombs, and what that technology did was lead us to exactly where we are right now.
You aren't actually sustaining any type of ideological practice that would save Ponykind.
Right. You're not doing anything better. You're just doing the same thing.
You're just allowing future ideologies to get their their hands or hooves on more dangerous technology.
And quite frankly, that is the criticism of the traditional Brotherhood. Is that they are zealots. They're obsessed with technology. Yeah. And returning things to the way they were, just like the Enclave. Because the Enclave is all about just returning things to the way they were. However, it's funny, it's the flip. In this story, the outcasts are more like Elder Lions, and the outcasts from Fallout 3 are more like the traditional Brotherhood.
Yep.
So, I mean, I just think it's astounding. I also think in Fallout 4, I think it's a real shame that I know it's one of the reasons why people who are Fallout traditionalists didn't like the Brotherhood in that game, because they were a virtuous Brotherhood.
Yeah.
For once, they were virtuous.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the things that made it great. Yeah. It was an evolution over time. For them to snap back to the militarism where they don't give a shit about people, it's kind of, personally, it's disappointing. That's a critique of the games. We're not talking about the books in that statement, but, just kind of popped out to me. And of course, it's very fresh since we're playing through Fallout 3 right now. By the way, check out our stream of Fallout 3 TTW on our YouTube channel. Yeah, we'll be doing, and we have so much cool stuff coming to the channel. We'll talk about that later. But anyways, to finish up the episode, essentially, while he's trying to transfer everything into the mainframe, Little Pip, and I can't remember where she got the information from, she shuts down the entire system.
Yeah, shutting it down. I'm shutting it all down, Cooper.
Yeah. That video you sent me earlier was hilarious.
No, I need power up!
Yeah.
I've seen that movie so many times.
Now is no time for caution. Well, well, actually, I think we already have a thing on Interstellar on the channel. Maybe.
We'll do it again.
Yeah, we'll talk, yeah, sure.
Every year we'll do it over again. The same movie. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, that's the end. So, last week, the last time we left the Pony Pun of the Week, they had started taking workman's comp from a disability. Previously had been on vacation.
You know what? I actually figured out what happened.
What's that?
Shafted us.
Really?
Yes. He was found dead, face down outside of a bar in Tijuana.
Wow. I'll be darned.
So we had to find a new one.
Well, the good news is we have found a new one. And for this week, we're very happy to announce that we have hired a diversity hire in the Pony Pun. It's a girl Pony Pun of the Week.
Did we already have those? No. All based on Mayor.
We're talking about the Pony Pun like it's an actual person. Play with it.
I'm so confused.
Bit killer Chris over here. Anyways, so the Pony Pun
that wasn't that bad
of the week is
Winneapolis. Like Minneapolis,
but so Winneapolis is not something we've heard of in the story yet. Nope. But I imagine there would be lots of pony beer and lots of cheese there in Winneapolis.
Lots of heart attacks.
There are cows in the My Little Pony universe, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Brahmin. They've actually referenced them in the story so far.
Really?
Because remember, the traders have Brahmin.
That's right. I wonder what Brahmin cheese is like.
Disgusting. Absolutely fucking disgusting.
Akin to hobo dick cheese, as it were. So yes, Winneapolis is the Pony Pun of the Week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have some questions.
Technically, they build off of each other. So kind of one in lengthened multi-part question. By two different people, though.
Okay, so I'll ask the question. Moonblaze says, question for both of you. If you were born in the Equestrian wasteland, where would you want to live? Where would you want to live?
Yep. Where would you want to live? Now, you already answered this as Canterlot, because anyone who's reading the story is like, that has to be Robert, because he has no idea, no fucking clue what he's getting into. You can't live in Canterlot.
Well, it depends on what your definition of life is.
Nothing there can be defined as alive. I think Steel Hose covered that pretty damn succinctly. Where would you go?
Tin Pony Tower sounds nice, even though it's full of a bunch of rich racists. It seems like one of the few places that would be comfortable to live. New Appaloosa probably wouldn't be too bad.
He hasn't heard of Friendship City yet. That's right. Once you get through that, you'll love to live there. I want to be in the ruins of Manhattan.
Why?
Because, I love Metro.
Jeez. You'd be the only one there speaking Russian. I'd
be in classic Gothic.
Oh my gosh. All right. And our man or woman, Almanac Pony, says, follow-up question to this one, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. What species would you be, and what would be your weapon of choice? What species?
Species would definitely be unicorn.
You'd be a unicorn. Okay.
And I'd just have to go with the weapon set of a silenced pistol and a sniper rifle.
Sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have zebra stealth technology, too.
Yeah.
So we've talked about me being a Pegasus before, but I'm going to pick outside of that species. I'm going to say I would be a griffin. And I would be a merc. And I would be armed to the fucking gills.
They don't have gills.
Well, work with me here.
I was waiting for you to say armed to the teeth. I don't have teeth either.
They don't have teeth. Yeah, it's a beak.
Except they do in the actual My Little Pony episode.
Listen, the only place they have teeth is on their genitals. Yeah, don't think about it.
It's barbs, really, but yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, kids, don't have sex with the male cats because they'll ruin you for all the other cats.
Oh. Yeah, you hear people about fucking horses and, having sex with dogs. You don't hear about anybody having sex with, like, lions and tigers and stuff.
I feel like that would be an extraordinarily deadly thing. First off.
We used to make the joke about anything's a dildo if you're brave enough, and you said everything's a dildo if you're brave enough.
Everything.
Which is even worse. At first I was like, I don't know which is worse. That is way worse.
All things.
So
reality, the pleasure device.
So yeah, those are the questions. Thanks again for always having questions, and for the questions we have on the live stream. We will be doing, of course, an after show after this and do more Fallout 3 live streaming. We're always looking for suggestions for things for us to do. We have a lot of really exciting things planned for the show. In fact, we may have some more people coming to the channel. So diversity on the channel, not necessarily all My Little Pony based.
Yeah.
So some cool things happening around. But thank you, as always, for tuning in. Mm-hmm. You can, of course, find us. And we got an email this week. Need to respond to it, but got an email. So you can email us at cbpbch@gmail.com. Again, that's cbpbch@gmail.com. Of course, if you're watching us, you know this. But if you're listening at home, you can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/Crisco Brand Biscuits. If you are one of those people who uses Twitter, we are on Twitter at CriscoCast. And last but not least, you can find us on thefollyofman.libsyn.com. Yeah, you enjoying yourself? You having fun there?
I'm having a blast.
You having a good fucking time?
It was a great time.
Did you have a good time? Did you enjoy yourselves? I mean, this is pretty good. I feel like we're getting our episodes down to a nice. These are like, we're back into the 30-minute episodes, or sub 30-minute episodes.
It'll change.
I know. This chapter took me about an hour to get through, so that wasn't bad.
And last little bit for everybody out there. Yes, we are planning on doing a live stream for the next chapter.
Chapter 34 will be a live episode, so it will likely be, we should probably pick a time. Let's say 3 p.m. on next Sunday.
EST.
Yep. Eastern.
Negative 500 GMT.
Jesus Christ.
We have people who are in Germany and they're like, what the hell's EST?
I know. Eastern Standard Time. New York time. That's another one. So if you look up New York time, we're on the same.
Are we the same as well, no, we're not the same as Brazil time, or whatever that is, Rio de Janeiro time, because we don't
they don't do daylight savings.
Yeah, they don't do daylight
it's different.
Savings.
Yeah.
We're the only country that does.
And of course, I feel like except they're not allowed to leave. And as always, I feel like we should end the episode giving thanks to you, KitKat. Once again, thanks for a great book and letting us review it here, and for being an active participant in all of our comments and such. And yeah, that's... So
let's end this on a high note.
I was going to say... For Chris, I'm Robert, and you've been listening to The Foally of Man. I'm sorry. That's it. That's all we got. What you see is what you get. This is all we have.
At this point, it's your fault, really. I mean, you had the ability to leave. You could have left at any time.
Yeah,
you're still here.
You're still here. But I applaud you. Look, we dressed up for you.
All
Chris in his polo,
over,
and I am my tux.
but the crowd